You're listening to The Divide right here on The Gambler.
We are back. Let's get into a little football stuff here because it is still football season after all. I mean, a little bit of baseball, some news hit, but it's still football season. Dolphins still at the top of the division, but they're definitely looking at their schedule, man. They can blow it. I mean, the Bills are not far away. So I feel like this could be the epic flop of the Dolphins, and the Bills can end up taking the AFC East. But I do want to get in Philly. I know all week you guys have been talking fraud or for real. Are the Philadelphia Eagles the team that everybody thought they were, or were they just not as good and because they had a little bit of a weaker schedule? What's going on here? I want the Mike Powers opinion, but I also want to remind everybody, even though the Cowboys beat the pants off of the Eagles, the Cowboys still have the same schedule that the Eagles had as well. So you can also make the same argument of this soft schedule for the Cowboys because both teams are sitting at 10-3. But I want to know. I know you're in and out of the iHeart studios all the time. I know Sean Brace had some panic. I know if it's one thing he does, it's panic. But I want to know, like, being the Dolphin fan that I am, when the Eagles played the Dolphins, I knew the Dolphins did not deserve to win. They didn't win, but I knew there was no way, fair game called by the refs, whatever, they weren't winning. But the Eagles were not as scary as everybody made them out to be. And I know for a fact that you think the same, Mike Powers.
Yeah, I kind of laugh, because you could see who's still loyal, who still doesn't even know, and then who, is just down on the Eagles right now, right? So, there's a mix of that, right? So I'm not saying just because you're wearing Kelly Green now, you understand what's going on. No, right. You're just there for the ride. But then also there's people who are just denouncing it, look, get me into my Sixers or get me into this. the Flyers are promising. So it's a mixed bag of emotions, but it was also that week 3. When they were 3-0 and undefeated. There were so many question marks. So I said this with the Phillies, and it holds true with the Eagles. It's good to go through this now than in the playoffs.
Correct.
Figure out what you need to do. The funniest thing is you see all this drama with the brotherly shove or whatever they call it, the tush push. They should ban it and all this other stuff. And you've seen the Giants tried to do it. Everybody's tried their own version of it and can't figure it out. So you can't make something illegal that only one team is doing. So that's kind of annoying.
And it has a lot to do with their personnel too, right? I mean,
but my question to you, are they 10-3 right now without that move? It gets a little scary, right? You could probably argue there's 2 or 3 games that could have ended another way.
If you're playing the what if game, then I would absolutely argue that you're not 10-3 with that because they convert every fourth
every
down
time.
using that.
Yeah,
I think they've only been stopped twice all season with that.
It's insane. It's insane.
Unreal.
But it's fun. It's a fun ride to be in that environment. I like to see my friends enjoy life because I can't. So, there's nothing. I mean, now we got Danny DeVito. That's about it.
God.
That's a Jeremy Lin type jokey.
You're the second
gimmicky
person
crap.
I've heard this week compare Tommy DeVito to Jeremy Lin's the Linsanity situation.
Yeah,
and
the other person's a great human being.
Yeah, they're all right.
It was in jail, Mike.
Yeah, no, they're okay.
That's all
right. It's not I guess it's not uncalled for for you to say it's similar to Linsanity. I think I don't know. I don't first of all, his agent. What are you dressing like that?
Yeah,
for, man?
that was
No,
hilarious.
you can't tell me you dress like that on purpose.
I don't know,
all
man.
the time. You did that on purpose. You knew the cameras would.
There's
be
a
on
lot of stories about them in pizzerias and stuff like that after it, and they're cheersing and it's a mob mentality. Also, I don't know if you know this, but he lives in the same town as Aaron Rodgers. He lives on one side with his mom, literally still in his kid bedroom, and Aaron Rodgers has 18 bedrooms in his house, which is nuts. Yeah,
and
in
it's
the same town, New Jersey. So it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But
it's good. I mean, listen, the Giants play the Eagles on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in Philly. I would say see if we could score some tickets to it, but I don't know if I'd be able to sneak away on Christmas Day.
I'm just thinking, like, you need me to take care of this Hurts guy for you? They're gonna break some kneecaps, bro. It's over.
He's good. He's gonna land a really good backup job somewhere. He's gonna get paid an okay amount of money to be a backup, or, I mean, I don't think he's gonna stay on the Giants.
Dude, I don't know.
I asked a Giant fan, like a diehard Giants fan, so I already knew the answer. If like, I'm like, so when Daniel Jones come back, like, do you think DeVito's better than Jones? He's like, nah, Daniel Jones is way better. And I'm like, way better?
Way better?
Way better?
You sure about that?
Really?
You sure about
DeVito's
that?
been winning a few games here.
Yeah,
I
don't. Danny Dimes is a joke. He's worth a dime. I think it's bizarre that they locked him up for what they did, so they have to live with that. You know, and
then someone said that there's a bunch of quarterbacks in the draft class coming up this year, and that the Giants were going to go after one. And I'm like, dude, I don't understand.
So stupid. So they're the only, like, and that's the other thing, man. Like, I'm tired of this crap, man. And I'm on strike.
Today,
I'm on strike with New York, the New York fan base. You know why? Because they had a party, and I have one of the largest Met followings, and because of this show, and it pissed me off. I wasn't invited. So that's strike one. Strike two is Steve Cohen just
who had a party?
Like all the Met guys, like all the little TikTokers and podcasters.
Really?
Like, yeah. And then after they're like, oh, we should have had Mike here. Yeah, you should have Mike here. You want to know why? Because people would actually went. But that's besides the point. Number three is like, stop making these athletes into somebody they're not. Like, even Pete, like, you know, he's not a polar bear. He's just a guy. Like, let's relax a little bit. And I know our boy Todd named him that, but like, we gotta stop super, like, you know, Noah was Thor, like, and now he's a, you know, just a human being. And
yeah,
like,
the catch, man. We thought it was corny when it was actually happening because we were like, just play baseball. Please just play baseball.
The Yankees tend to not, like, the one guy you guys like treat like Jesus is Derek Jeter, but outside of that, you're pretty
but
calm.
we don't call him Jesus or Captain America. He's just baseball Jesus.
But also, like, you also, like, didn't have many homegrown people either. Like, that was one of the, you know, the cool four.
Don't bring it over here, man. Just because you're angry, don't bring it here. Don't do that.
I don't know.
Picking on Jeets and all that. You know, Jeter called.
Remember when you guys developed Juan Soto? It was great. Like, it pissed. He's a rental. That's what you guys do. What are we talking about? Hey, you probably told them you're not going to call him next year. You know?
Hey,
like,
man.
the funniest thing is they're talking about that being the best outfield in the world. Giancarlo Stanton's not in the pictures. Like, when they talk about who's the best, like, you have a $300 million guy that Derek Jeter helped you get robbed from the Marlins. You know, just dude, stop. I want to say let's go Mets. There's no reason. They're just going. They're not going. We're dead. Like,
man,
it's so depressing.
And this is why, if Mike's angry and I agree with him, you just times that by like 3 or 4. That's what it is.
Yeah, dude, and I got 30 seconds left, and it just I think just putting the studio back together just added to the fuel.
Yeah, I know, man. You were pretty
like
angry.
rocket
I was
ship.
sitting over here scared. I was like,
goddamn rocket ship.
Like, I should probably do something.
Yeah. Oh, man. And I called it with the whole DeGrom crap. I called it with the, you know, and I'm not saying I told you so. You could go back. I called it in after the Phillies beat the tar out of the Mets. Beat the tar out of them after my Xfinity thing. Mm-hmm. I told Jansen and Brace that they were going to turn around and trade all these things and get prospects. And they did. And everybody's like, that makes no sense. That's exactly what they did. You know, and now Max has a ring. DeGrom has a ring. And Verlander and Kate Upton are back in Houston. All is merry except for in Queens. Merry Christmas.
Have a good week, everybody. We're going to be back next week right before the holidays. Stay well. Divide Live, Fox Sports The Gambler.